So, just because a supplement gets talked about constantly or looks like it has solid evidence behind it, doesn't automatically mean it's something you should be taking. So, in this video, we're going to organize the entire way you think about supplementation by walking through 11 supplement swaps that can help with fat loss, muscle gain, recovery, performance, and even just making your life simpler and cheaper. And the key idea here is this: instead of stacking isolated supplements, we're connecting them directly to the real foods and biochemical systems they're actually interacting with. So let's jump straight in. So number one is stimulant pre-workout, green tea or yerba mate, plus beta-alanine. Most pre-workouts boil down to two real active components: caffeine and beta-alanine. Caffeine increases alertness, motivation, and is a well-known fat burner. It pushes the central nervous system and increases output. Beta-alanine improves time to exhaustion by buffering acid buildup in muscles, which is why you feel that endurance boost during harder sets. So instead of a $50 a month pre-workout habit, you can recreate the same physiology more cleanly through food-derived stimulants. So green tea or yerba mate provides natural caffeine plus polyphenols. Yerba mate, in particular, has evidence suggesting it may improve fatty acid oxidation during exercise, potentially even more than green tea. Also add beta-alanine, about 3,000 to 5,000 milligrams a day, which is cheap and widely available. You can even find it on Amazon. So what you're really doing here is replacing synthetic stimulant blends with plant-derived methylxanthines, caffeine sources, and a direct buffering amino acid that affects muscle pH handling. Same mechanism, lower cost, cleaner input. Number two here is vitamin C with taurine, which is an exercise antioxidant system. Vitamin C is absolutely useful. This isn't about dismissing it, but in an athletic context, taurine may actually be more targeted to muscle stress and performance. Here's why: because during exercise, oxidative stress rises in muscle tissue. Research from muscle biopsies shows taurine accumulates in working muscle, acting like a localized antioxidant buffer. So instead of just general systemic antioxidant support from vitamin C, taurine works closer to where the stress is happening, which is muscle contraction sites, mitochondrial activity zones, and exercise-induced oxidative load. So typical dosing range would be 1 to 6 grams of taurine. This is linked in literature to improved recovery, improved time to exhaustion, and reduced oxidative stress in active muscle tissue. So biochemically, you're shifting from a broad antioxidant, which is vitamin C, to a muscle-localized osmolyte and antioxidant regulator, which would be taurine. So number three here is collagen protein, which is ground beef, which is a whole food collagen matrix. If you're taking collagen, you don't necessarily need to stop, but you can enhance or replace part of it with food. The tissue that collagen supplements are isolated amino acid profiles, but ground beef naturally contains connective tissue components such as tendons, gristle, and collagen-rich structural proteins. So instead of a purified supplement, you're getting a complete structural protein matrix from food. This matters because collagen synthesis depends on multiple amino acids, and whole food protein brings additional cofactors and amino acid diversity. Now, immune cells, T cells especially, they actually need amino acids. Some are arginine, tryptophan, and etc. So by having collagen protein in ground beef, you're also helping out your immune system. But the signalosomes have to work right on the T cells because the receptors they that take up the amino acids on the T cells, those receptors need healthy fats to form the signalosomes. So ground beef could also be providing some of those fats as well. Number 4 is a pre-workout and muscle building supplement, which is creatine, and the most evidence-based ergogenic aid. Uh, the most effective pre-workout is not a pre-workout at all. It's creatine monohydrate, and creatine improves ATP regeneration, strength output, training volume, and muscle performance consistency. If you've seen my other videos, you already know that the immune system needs massive amounts of ATP for immune functions. So creatine provides ATP, and creatine also improves strength output and muscle performance. And creatine is one of the most studied ergogenic aids outside of caffeine. So the idea is spreading intake of creatine across the day, 1.5 grams in the morning, 1.5 grams afternoon, and then another 1.5 grams in the evening. This maintains steadier creatine saturation, potentially reducing noticeable water retention spikes while maintaining performance benefits. And number 5 here is a melatonin, such as tart cherry juice or chamomile plus lemon balm. So tart cherry juice contains melatonin, melatonin precursors, and antioxidant compounds. And research shows improved sleep onset, improved sleep duration. Now that's critical to keep cortisol levels low, especially in the morning, because in the morning the cortisol levels are really high. So it's important to get enough sleep to reduce the cortisol, because cortisol damages or degrades the megalin cubulin. And if you haven't seen my other megalin cubulin videos, is that if there is no megalin, then the cubulin cannot anchor. The cubulin has to anchor, because if the cubulin cannot anchor, that leads to vitamin B12 deficiency as well as vitamin D deficiency. Because if there's vitamin D deficiency, then that's a heart risks, heart problems, possibly tumor platelet cloaking, because tumors, they use a CD44 platelets to hide from the immune system. Also, T cells have a vitamin D receptor, and if there's vitamin D deficiency, then T cells cannot receive a vitamin D. And the last one on the list here is going to be multivitamins, which would actually be beef. Beef can act as a multivitamin. So beef is a nutrient-dense whole food model containing B vitamins for thymidine in the DNA instead of uracil, because cancer patients, they have high levels of uracil. So beef having B vitamins can put thymidine into the DNA instead. Beef also contains iron, zinc for the immune system, and minerals critical for enzymatic function. So in metabolic terms, beef supports oxygen transport through iron for the red blood cells, testosterone and enzyme function from the zinc, because testosterone boosts nitric oxide for immune system function, and then energy metabolism through B vitamins from the beef. So once you connect the supplement to the biology instead of the marketing, the choices get a lot simpler and usually cheaper too. I'll see you in the next video.